Morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of our basic accounting. So this time we will be discussing about elements of financial statements and basic accounting equation. In this session, we will be able to identify and describe the elements of financial statements, including assets, liabilities, equity, income, expenses. And second one, we explain the concept of basic accounting equation. Okay, so here is the elements of financial statements, which will be seen in the statement of financial position or the balance sheet and the statement of financial performance or the income statement. Okay, in the balance sheet, we have our assets, liabilities, and equity, which when we talk about asset, it is something that the company owns. All of the things that the company owns is andito sa assets. Second one, our liabilities. It is the obligations of the business or something that the company owns. Okay? So next one is equity. Equity is the residual value of the assets and the liabilities. Also, we could see the capital in the equity. Second one, in the income statement, we could see the income or revenue of the business. So lahat ng kinikita ng business andito sa financial performance as well as yung kanilang mga expenses or lahat ng gastos ng business makikita sa financial performance. Okay? Now, we will go to the measurement basis of the elements of financial statements. So first, what is measurement? So measurement is the process of determining the monetary amounts at which the elements of the financial statements are to be recognized and carried in the balance sheet or income statement. Measurement is the measurement of how much, okay, how much would be recognized in the balance sheet or income statements. Okay, so there are different methods on how do we measure these costs of the following elements. So how do we measure? So first, we measure it by historical costs. Okay, historical costs is assets are recorded at the amount of cash or cash equivalents paid or the fair value of the consideration given to acquire them at the time of their acquisition. So meaning, kung kailan sila binili doon or kailan nangyari yung transaction, yun yung i-recognize nating amount nung mismong account na nire-record natin. Okay? So take note time of their acquisition. Second one is current cost. Current cost is assets are carried at the amount of cash or cash equivalents that would have to be paid if the same or an equivalent asset was acquired currently. Okay? Liabilities carried at the undiscounted amount of cash and cash equivalents that would be required to settle the obligation currently. So how much is the price of the asset currently? Okay. Second one is realizable value. So assets are carried at the amount of cash or cash equivalents that could currently be obtained by selling an asset in an orderly disposal. So magkano kaya yung magiging price ng asset kapag dinispose mo na siya? Okay, ito dispose, historical cost is historical price or the original price and current cost is the current price of the assets or liability. Realizable value is how much would be paid or recognized if we dispose the assets. Okay. Next one is settlement value. So liabilities are carried at the undiscounted amounts of cash or cash equivalents expected to be paid to satisfy the liabilities in the normal course of the business. So settlement value is the value or price of settlement. So for example, bumili ka ng equipment. Okay? For example, bumili ka ng equipment. Ang price ng equipment nila nung binili, nung pinagbibilihan mo, is 500,000. Okay. So then, since 500,000 nung yung price na ng equipment doon sa pinagbibilihan mo, ito yung matatawag nating historical cost. And then, ikaw na buyer, for example, binili mo siya ng 250,000 kasi sabi mo, 5 taon na nila ginagamit. So, yung settlement value natin is yung 250,000 pesos. Okay? So, historical cost, kung magkano mo siya binili. Current cost, yung current price niya in the market. And realizable value, if dinispose mo yung isang asset, magkano kaya yung kanyang presyo? That's realizable value. And settlement value is kung magkano binili yung isang asset mo. And next one, present value is assets are carried at the present discounted form of the net inflows that the item is expected to generate in the normal course of business. So how much is the present value na the item would be expected to generate in your operations? So how much is the present value of the asset? Okay. So next one is we now go to the elements of financial statements and its account title. So account title are identifications or brief description of as items that fall under the same kind, class, or nature. In recording business transactions, the elements of financial statements are to be assigned with accounting titles under each. So first, we will talk about the statement of financial position account titles, which we can call them as the permanent accounts. Okay? Next one is statement of financial performance account titles, which masasabi natin, ito yung mga temporary accounts. Again, permanent accounts or real accounts are the accounts na nasa financial possession, which sinabi natin kanina, under assets, liabilities, and equity. And also, when we talk about statement of financial performance, andito lahat ng temporary accounts or nominal accounts. Okay? So, andito yung mga accounts ng income statement natin, which sinabi natin kanina, your income or revenue, and syempre, yung ating mga expenses. Expenses. Okay? So, permanent versus real. Permanent accounts does not close, pero yung nominal account, kino-close natin siya. Okay? So, next one. So, punta naman tayo sa mga account title under each. Okay? So, but before that, we classify this account title into current and non-current. Okay? So, meron pang classification ng ating mga assets and liabilities. So, sabi natin kanina, we talk about assets, liabilities, and equity. But in assets, it is classified into two, current and non-current. Ano kayo pagkakaiba ng current asset sa non-current asset? Pag sinabi mong current asset, ito yung mga assets na magagamit mo within 1 year. Okay? Lahat ng mga assets na magagamit mo within 1 year or 12 months is considered as your current asset. Kabaliktaran naman, yung non-current asset, ito yung mga assets na magagamit mo more than 1 year or more than 12. Okay? Current within 1 year, non-current more than 1 year. Also, may classification din tayo ng liabilities na current and non-current liabilities. Same as true with assets, if sinabi natin current liabilities, ito yung mga obligations mo na sakop doon sa within 1 year or 12 months. Pero non-current liabilities, ito yung mga obligations mo na sakop more than 1 year. Okay? So current within 1 year, non-current more than 1 year. And syempre yung equity, andito yung mga capital, Ito yung withdrawal, andito yung revenue, andito yung expenses. Okay? Okay. Next tayo. Next one is, ito yung preview ng ating chart of accounts. Andito yung mga items under current assets, non-current assets, current liabilities, non-current liabilities, and your owner's equity. Okay, so it is a quick preview of the chart of accounts. Next one, we now go to the elements of financial statements and its account title. First, sa mga permanent accounts. Sabi natin kanina, na-classify yung asset into current and non-current assets. Ulit, pag sinabi natin current asset, ito yung mga assets na magagamit natin or pagmamayari natin within 1 year. Okay? So, first example dyan is your cash. So, cash is the account title to describe money. Okay? So, kung pinag-usapan natin ang money, papasok dyan yung cash. So, kasama yung mga paper bills and coins and other money substitutes like check, postal money orders, bank drafts, and treasury warrants is pasok dyan sa cash. Okay? Cash is pera or cash is money. So, lahat ng transactions na involve ang pera na meron kang binabayaran or meron kang binibigay or meron kang natanggap na pera, papasok yan lahat sa cash. Okay, so cash is later on classified into cash in bank and cash on hand. Okay, so cash on hand is within the premises of the business. Okay, so kung hawak mo yung cash mismo and nasa premise siya ng business, it is cash on hand. However, if you deposited or placed that money in the bank, ang i-record natin is cash in bank. So for example, sabi mo, meron kang 500,000 cash. Okay, and then within that 500,000 cash, yung 200,000 is i-deposit mo sa bangko. So, ilan pang natira? Natira pa ay 300,000. So, yung 200,000 mo, ito na yung cash in bank mo. And yung natirang 300,000, ito yung cash on hand mo. Since yung 300,000 ay hindi mo dineposit sa bank. Okay. Second is petty cash fund. So, account title for money placed and set aside for petty or small expenses. So, for example, yung mga nakalagay sa petty cash fund is ito yung mga pera na maliliit lang yung amounts kasi ito yung mga ginagamit mo sa mga transactions mo na hindi naman kailangan ng cheque or hindi ka makakabayad ng cheque or babayaran mo lang within the small amount. So for example, inutusan mo yung accountant mo na bumili ng merienda nyo or merienda nyo sa meeting ninyo. So, doon sa pag-utos mo sa kanya, kailangan niyang sumakay ng tricycle. And yung pagbayad dun sa tricycle is kinukuha dito sa petty cash fund. Okay? So, merong certain amount na nakaset aside for petty cash fund. So, for example din, need mong magpadala ng mga documents sa other branches mo. So, yung pambayad doon sa amount kung magkano yung pagpapadala is pwede mong kunin the petty cash fund. Pero itong petty cash fund is also form of your cash or money. Okay? So, next, cash equivalents. So, cash equivalents, past number 22 defines cash equivalents as short-term, highly liquid instruments that are readily convertible into cash. Okay? So, for example, your money markets, your commercial papers, okay? And treasury bills and other cash equivalents. So, sa cash equivalents, meron tayong tinatawag na 3 months rule. Okay? So within that 3 months rule, if yung maturity niya is within 3 months or 90 days, pasok pa rin siya as your current asset ng cash equivalent. Pero kapag lumagpas na ng 90 days or 3 months, hindi na siya considered as your current asset na siya. Okay? Next one is notes receivable. Okay? So parang ganito lang sa accounts receivable yung notes receivable. So sabi ko nga, pag accounts receivable, ito yung mga utang ng mga customers natin or collectible sa ating mga customers. Dahil kunyari bumili sila ng item sa inyo at hindi pa nila binayaran or pag may nakita tayong word na on credit, okay? Is nandyan sa accounts receivable kapag ang umutang sa'yo is yung customers or sila yung may utang sa'yo. Okay, so lahat ng credit or ng utang sa'yo, customers or may utang sa'yo, papasok yan sa accounts receivable. Okay, sir, ano pagkakaiba ng notes receivable sa accounts receivable? Okay, notes receivable, ang pagkakaiba niya lang, kapag notes receivable, meron tayong makikitang promissory note or yung promise. Okay? There is a promise to pay. Okay? So, if sinabi na merong promissory note or merong promise to pay, papasok yan sa notes receivable instead of accounts receivable. However, so lahat ng utang sa'yo, ng customer mo, or lahat ng utang sa'yo is nasa accounts receivable. Okay? So next, allowance for uncollectible accounts. So kapag sinabi mong allowance for uncollectible accounts, it is a contra asset account. Meaning, binabawasan niya yung value ng isang asset. So itong allowance for uncollectible account is a contra asset sa ating accounts receivable or notes receivable. Okay? So, uncollectible accounts is ito yung mga utang sa'yo na hindi mo na makukuha or masisingil. Dahil, for example, kunyari, yung nagpautang sa'yo is hindi na nagpaparamdam, hindi na nagpapakita, at hindi na um, nagre-reply sa'yo, di ba? Or biglang namatay yung umuutang sa'yo. So, andyan yan sa uncollectible accounts. So, allowance for uncollectible accounts is a contra asset. Binabawasan niya yung accounts receivable and notes receivable. So, ito yung allowance na sa tingin mo ay hindi mo na ma, um, ma-collect sa mga customers na nagka-utang sa iyo. Okay? So, next one tayo. Next one on the list are, okay, other forms of current assets. So for example, next one is your accrued income. So accrued income is the amount of income earned but not yet collected. Okay? Accrued meaning no cash is involved. Okay? Pag sinabi nating accrual, okay, there is no cash involved. Okay? So, accrued income, sabi natin kanina, no cash involved. So, accrued income is income earned but not yet collected. Okay. So, for example, nag-render ka ng service. Sabi niya, for example, ay nag-catering ka. Okay? And then, nag-catering ka worth 200,000 pesos. Okay? For example, tapos ka na nag-catering, tapos na yung event, tapos sabi ng customer mo, pwede ba siyang on credit? Kasi kinakompleto pa namin yung pera na ibabayad sa inyo. And then nag-agree ka. So, kung tapos na yung event, tapos hindi ka nagbabayad sa iyo, papasok yan sa accrued income natin. Okay? Next, advances to employees. So, ito yung mga advances to employees. Ang Tagalog nito is yung mga bale. Alam mo yung bale? So, kuya pa bale, di ba? So, advances to employees is ito yung mga inutang sa'yo ng mga empleyado mo habang wala pa yung sahod, for example. Or, inallow mo silang to make cash advances, di ba? Na ibabawas sa kanilang mga salaries or wages. Yeah. Okay. And next one, your prepaid expenses. So prepaid expenses is same as the concept of your prepaid loan. Okay? Okay. Prepaid meaning meron ng existing or andyan na yung asset pero unti-unti mo siyang ginagamit or unti-unti mo siyang nauubos. So prepaid expenses just like your supplies. Okay? So for example, bumili ka ng 1 rim na coupon. No? So 1 rim coupon is equivalent to, for example, 100 pesos. Pero syempre, since 100 pesos, hindi mo naman isang bagsakan na gagamitin yung coupon unless yung business mo is gumagamit ng maraming coupon. Di ba? So, parang yung 1 rim, unti-unti mo siyang binabawasan. So, unti-unti din nababawasan yung prepaid expenses mo. Pero take note na itong supplies na to is meron siyang separate account title sa ating financial statements. So another example ng prepaid expenses natin is um our prepaid rental, prepaid insurance, prepaid interest, prepaid advertising, and etc. Basta pag meron kayo nakitang prepaid is equivalent to prepaid expenses yan. Paano ba nagkakaroon ng prepaid expenses? So for example ay naghahanap ka ng rerenta kang bahay. Okay. So, nung nakahanap ka, sabi ng may-ari, kailangan merong 3 months deposit. Okay? Or 3 months advance payment. Okay? So, for example, na hindi deposit pala, advance payment. Ayan. So, nag-require yung may-ari ng 3 months advance payment. Okay? So, for example, ang renta mo sa bahay is 10,000 per month. Okay? Tapos sabi ng may-ari, kailangan mo magbayad ng 3 buwan doon sa renta mo para payagan kitang pumasok. So, 10,000 multiplied by 3 months equals 30,000 pesos. So, itong 30,000 pesos is papasok mo sa account ng prepaid expenses. Kasi syempre, hindi naman palagi na hindi naman minsaanan natatapos yung 3 months at itong 30,000 na ito is mag-expire after 3 months. Okay. So for example, tapos na ang isang buwan, edi ibabawas natin yung 10,000 dyan sa prepaid expenses. Again, second month, edi ibabawas ulit natin yung 10,000 pesos. Third month, ibabawas ulit yung 10,000 pesos. So prepaid expenses are advanced advance payments. Okay? Pero hindi mo pa siya nagagamit at unti-unti mo siyang inuubos. Okay? Unused supplies is the account title for cost of supplies and other stationary purchase for the use left on hand and still unused. Or simply, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, simply supplies. So, andito lahat ng mga hindi mo pa nagamit na mga supplies. Okay? So again, balikan natin yung ating mga current asset. Okay, ito lang itong mga to. Cash, petty cash fund, cash equivalents, notes receivable, accounts receivable, allowance for uncollectible accounts, accrued income, advances to employees, prepaid expenses, and unused supplies. Okay, after current asset, pasok naman tayo sa mga non-current assets. So sabi nga natin kanina, ang non-current asset ay ito yung mga assets na magagamit natin more than okay, more than 12 months or 1 year. Okay? So, yan yung non-current asset natin. Okay. So, first in the list of your non-current asset is your property, plant, and equipment. Or yung tinatawag nating fixed assets. Okay? So, property, plant, and equipment or fixed assets natin. So, these are tangible assets which are held by an enterprise for use in production or supply of goods and services, for rental to others, or for administrative purposes and are expected to be used more than one period. So such as, okay, land, okay, ito yung lupa natin, diba? Building, yan. Machinery and equipment, okay, and furnitures and fixtures. Okay, again, land, building, machinery and equipment, and furnitures and fixtures. So ito, yung andito sa property, plant, and equipment or fixed asset natin. And all of this one is subject to depreciation except for land. Okay? So, depreciation. Pag sinabi natin depreciation, ito yung value na binabawas doon sa fixed asset natin. Okay? Value na binabawas doon sa uh, fixed assets natin. Okay. So, for example, bumili ka ng building na worth 1 million pesos. Depreciation, meaning binabawasan niya yung value. Ibig sabihin, dahil mas tumatagal, mas nababawasan yung value ng isang fixed asset. So for example, 2017, bumili ka ng building worth 1 million. Then comes 2018, ang value na lang ng building is 900,000. So yung difference dito is yun yung sinasabi nating depreciation. Okay? So yung depreciation mo dyan is 100,000. So lahat ng fixed asset except for land is nagde-depreciate. Okay, so ano naman yung nangyayari sa land? Nangyayari sa land is nag-a-appreciate yung value. Okay? Meaning, mas tumatagal, mas nagmamahal yung land. Okay? Pero doon sa building, machinery and equipment, furnitures and fixtures, syempre, kapag mas tumatagal, mas nag-depreciate or mas na bumababa yung value ng fixed asset. O, wag kayong magjo-joke sa mga friends nyo. Oy, friend, para kang nag-depreciate na. Hindi pwede yun, ha? Ayan, joke-joke lang. Okay, so again, ulitin natin, building is mismo yun yung construction or infrastructure na gagamitin natin sa business. Machinery and equipment is ito yung mga machines and equipment to operate the business. Okay? So, machines, computers, steel filing cabinets, and light. And syempre, calculators and typewriters. If in case, nagagamitin mo talaga yung calculator and typewriters for the operations at hindi for sales. Okay? Furnitures and fixtures includes chairs, tables, counters, display cases, and yung mga ilaw is a fixture. Diba? For example, yung mga monobank chairs, yung mga tables is part of your furnitures and fixtures. So, fixtures are enhancement of the building. Okay? And furniture, syempre, ginagamit din natin ng enhancement yan. Pero particularly, sa mga chairs, tables, ganyan. Pero yung mga fixtures natin, it's some lighting fixtures, water fixtures, and alike. Okay. Second one is accumulated depreciation. Again, accumulated depreciation is a contra asset account. So, contra asset account saan? Contra asset account siya sa ating property, plant, and equipment or fixed assets, except land. Okay? Cumulative depreciation is the value, di ba? Is the value of the deduction from property and equipment. Okay? Value na nagdededuct doon sa property and equipment. Take note, ang pinag-uusapan natin ay yung permanent accounts or mga balance sheet. So, itong accumulated depreciation, from the word itself, accumulated. So, ibig sabihin, nag-a-accumulate yung value niya. So, for example, ulit, 1 million yung binili natin na building on 2017 and 2018 naging 900,000 na siya. So, yung sa accumulated depreciation natin, sabihin natin 100K. And after, for example, 2019, naging 800K na siya. And then, syempre, maa-add again yung 100,000. So, yung accumulated depreciation natin on 2019 would total to 200,000. Okay. So, kung makikita natin siya sa financial statement, building na 1 million minus yung accumulated depreciation niya, So di ba? As of, as of the period 2019, ang value ng iyong building ay 800K. Okay? And the next non-current asset is your intangible assets. So intangible assets are non-monetary assets without physical existence, just like patents, copyright, franchise, trademark. So ito yung mga pagmamayari natin na hindi natin makikita or nahahawakan. So tangible, yung fixed assets natin. Intangible is yung mga hindi natin nahahawakan. Okay? So yan yung ating mga non-current assets. And again, current asset plus non-current asset is equal to your total assets. So lahat yan is part of your total assets. Okay. So next part tayo. Next part would be, okay, wait. Next part would be our current liabilities. So, sabi natin kanina, ang liabilities is something that the company own or lahat ng obligations niya. Okay. And sinabi din natin na kapag pinag-usapan natin yung current liabilities, is ito yung mga obligations natin na kaya nating bayaran within 1 year or 12 months. Okay? So current liabilities is ito yung mga obligations natin na kaya nating bayaran within 1 year or 12 months. Okay. So again, lahat ng obligations. So kapag current liabilities, makikita natin dyan yung term na payable. Okay. Kaya nasabi ko kanina, pag sinabi na nating payable, tayo yung merong obligation or tayo yung merong utang. The key term dyan is to pay. Diba? Pay, payable. So pag ikaw yung magbabayad, ikaw yung may utang at obligation mo siya, kaya nasa liabilities siya. Pag current liabilities siya, within 1 year or 12 months siya. Okay. So examples ng ating current liabilities is accounts payable, notes payable, accrued expenses, and unearned income. Accounts payable is an account title for financial obligation of an enterprise that constitute an oral or verbal promise to pay. Okay? So, lahat ng utang natin is technically nasa general term na nasa accounts payable. Pag utang yan, nasa accounts payable. Yan. Okay? Or nasa liabilities. Yan. Again, second item is your notes payable short term. Ibig sabihin, within 1 year. Ang kakaiba ng notes payable sa accounts payable is same as true with your notes receivable or yung concept ng notes receivable. Pag notes payable, meron kang promissory note or meron kang promise to pay. Yan. If meron ng promissory note or merong promise to pay, napapasok yan sa may notes payable. Okay? So, later classification, kapag merong promise to pay, nasa notes payable. Yan. Next, accrued expenses. Okay. Same as the rules of accruals. Diba? Wala pang pera na binibigay pero natapos ng ginamit. Okay? Accrued expenses, diba sabi niya, already incurred or nagamit na pero hindi pa nababayaran. Okay? Truhas, wala pang pera or no money is involved. Okay, next, unearned income. So this is an account title for an income collected or received in advance and not yet considered as earned. Unearned income. So for example is merong magpapakatering ulit sa'yo. So sabi niya, pwede bang today for example is August 1. Sabi niya, pwede mong magpapakatering sa'yo on October 1. Okay. So syempre, if nag-agree kayo for example, and then nagkaroon, sabi niya, October 1 yung catering, pero okay lang ba na magbayad ako sa'yo on August 1 or today? Diba? If nagbayad siya, for example, ng 100,000 today, and yun yung full amount nung catering services, Yung 100,000 na yan is papasok sa ating unearned income. So unearned income is yung mga advance payment natin pero hindi pa natin siya natatapos gawin. Okay? So unearned income. Okay? Or unearned revenue. Baka malito kayo. Okay, next. Next one is our non-current liabilities. Okay, non-current liabilities, again, pag non-current, ito yung mga obligations natin na binabayaran natin more than 1 year or more or 12 months. More than 12 months. Examples are notes payable, long term. Yan, long term, more than 1 year. And mortgage payable, it is a financial obligation of an enterprise which requires fixed or tangible property. So for example, umutang ka ng 1 million sa bangko, tapos sabi mo, kapag hindi ko mababayaran yung 1 million within 1 year, ibibigay ko sa iyo yung kotse ko. Diba? And syempre, yung value ng kotse mo kapag hindi mo bayaran is andito sa mortgage payable. Diba? Or ito yung mga financial obligations mo na uh, pledge as collateral to ensure payment. Yan. Pag hindi ka nakapagbayad, ito yung magiging kapalit ng hindi na magbayad. So, dito sa mortgage payable. Siyempre, meron din tayong tinatawag na bonds payable as part of your non-current liabilities. Okay? So, next. Next natin is your capital or owner's equity. Gaya ng sabi ko kanina, it is the residual interest in the assets. Okay? And after deducting the liabilities. Okay? So, sa capital or owner's equity, syempre, andoon yung owner's capital or yung capital natin. Okay? So, yung umpisang investment mo, yung pinakaunang investment mo, nasa capital. Key term, pag sinabing invested or investment, papasok yan sa mismong capital natin. And sinusulat yung capital, for example, ako, Munoz, di ba? For example, Munoz Capital. Okay? Sabi dito, indicating the name separated by comma, and then, syempre, ilalagay natin yung word na capital. Okay? Pag merong investment, invested, nasa capital account niya. Okay. So, withdrawal naman. Withdrawal is same same reflected as owner's last name with comma or drawing or withdrawal. Okay? So, same lang yung withdrawal at yung drawing accounts. Okay? Ano yung withdrawal? Withdrawal is yung nag-withdraw ka ng pera doon sa business for your personal uh, for, for for your personal use. Okay? So, sa personal use, pag umutang ka or kumuha ka ng pera sa business for your personal use, papasok yan sa withdrawal accounts. And syempre, dito sa capital or owner's equity, andyan din yung income and expense summary natin. Diba? So, andito yung mga income o yung tubo natin and then our expenses na mga gastos natin. Okay. Next tayo. Next is our income account. Okay? Na part ng inyong capital or part ng inyong equity. Ayan. So, punta naman tayo sa mga temporary accounts such as income and your expenses. So, itong concept ng mga income na kasulat dito is same concept as all of this one. So, income is ito lahat ng mga benta mo doon sa business mo or yung mga sinasabi nating mga revenues natin. Okay? So, nakaklasify siya into service income kapag service business ka, professional income if professional firms or professional entity, yung mga uh, source ng inyong mga revenues or income, such as, for example, dental fees, the auditing fees. Yan. If rental income, ito yung mga income earned on buildings, spaces, or other properties na nirerentahan. And then interest income is like income arising from the amount of money borrowed by a customer and is covered usually by a promissory. Okay. So same lang sila ng mga treatment, different names or different um account title depending on kung anong klaseng business. Okay. Next. Next is expenses. So expenses, sabi natin, is ito yung mga gastos natin sa business. So na-classify siya, depende din kung ano mismo yung gastos natin. So number one is your supplies expense. So andito lahat ng expired portion. Okay? Expired portion or lahat ng nagamit na nating supplies. Rent expense is ito yung mga gastos natin sa renta. Repairs and maintenance expense, ito yung gastos natin sa pag-repair and pag-maintain ng ating mga assets, for example. And then salaries expense is andito yung mga compensation na binibigay natin sa employees, uncollectible account expense. So ito yung mga anticipated loss, di ba? Gaya ng concept nung allowance for uncollectible accounts. Okay, magkasama yan. So yung uncollectible accounts, pwede din natin siyang tawagin na bad debts. Yan. Bad debts expense. Uncollectible accounts expense. Okay. And then, depreciation expense. So, for the portion of the cost of property and equipment or fixed asset that has expired based on rational and systematic allocation procedure. Sir, anong pagkakaiba nito sa may accumulated depreciation natin? Okay. Accumulated depreciation is accumulated amount. Okay? Within the years. Pag depreciation expense or yung expense account lang is ito yung particular expense within a certain period. So for example, andito lahat ng mga expenses natin sa depreciation for 1 year. Pero pag yung accumulated depreciation, multiple years po yung nakalagay na amount doon. Okay? And then, taxes and licenses, ito yung mga expenses natin sa mga taxes na binabayaran natin and mga business permits, okay, and other licenses. Insurance expense is the insurance, yung expense natin sa insurance, premium na binabayaran natin. And syempre, last one is your utilities expense. So lahat ng expense mo on your telephone bill, light, water bills is included sa ating utilities expense. And take note na yung gas expense natin, yung lubricants and oil is part of your utilities expense. Gasoline, yung mismong gas na nilalagay natin doon sa ating mga vehicles and not the LPG. Okay, next tayo. Next is, yeah. Now, we'll talk about basic accounting equations. Okay, so but before that, you may pause this video and then take a break for a while and then be back once you are already done